Blessed love. Blessed love. Give thanks, y'all. Just turn that light down a little bit. Give thanks, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the stream. We're just going to give a little bit of time here so we can let people come in. You know, it's going to be, I really don't know what it's going to be. I just really wanted to tune in with you all and just to, you know, wrap it up, wrap this year. This has been a powerful year. It's been an exciting year. A lot of stuff has gone on this past year, and a big part of it is the support that I've gotten from you all. So yeah, I just feel like I haven't been creating that much content for you since I'm working on all these different projects. So I'm like, yo, we gotta tune in. We gotta get that live, and we just gotta connect. You know, I really just want to connect with y'all. Peace, Avance. Much love, much blessings. Yeah, comment. Tell me how it's sounding. Let me know what the sound is like. Let me know if it's clear on your end. And then we'll really get going. But thank y'all for being here. Give thanks. Hello, Nina Rose. Give thanks. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're grateful to have you here. And I say we. I'm going to be saying we instead of me a lot because I don't feel like it's me. Like it's just me doing this. This is us. You know, this is us. So I give thanks for all of you. I give thanks. Mateo, welcome, my brother. Much love, much love. Blessings and wholeness. Michael, blessings. Happy New Year. Yes, new cycle. New cycle. We got to tune in. You know, a lot of people hate on New Year's resolutions and all that kind of stuff, but I'm a strong supporter of anything that's going to help us tune in. So if we got to use the end of the year to help us tune in, then make sure that we make the most of this opportunity. How you doing, Carmen? The greatest idea, the one and only. Blessings upon blessings upon blessings upon blessings. Much love. Giving thanks for everyone coming in. I got so much love for y'all. You don't even know. So we'll just wait a little bit longer. And while you're in, you know, just comment, put a comment, put some love, send y'all wholeness, send me something back. And, you know, just get this chat going. I'm going to be answering any questions that y'all have. You know, I want it to be more of like a dialogue. So it's not just going to be me talking. So if there's any questions, anything that you want to address, I really want to be talking about reflecting on the past year and what has been going on for me, for us. And then also I want to be just tuning in and sharing with y'all my approach coming into the new year. Happy New Year, Nadine. Where do you get your organic CMOS and spices? So I'm going to put my website link in the description right now in the comments. And this is where I get my seamoss from. Boom, so there's my website. I just put that in there. And what that is, that's my website. I haven't even shared with y'all yet. I've just, you know, I've been working on getting all this stuff going, so I haven't shared with y'all yet. But I've ordered CMOS from Saint Lucia, from Prescale is sending it from the clearest of the best waters that we have in the ocean. It's not in the Pacific. It's not near Japan. I'm gonna guarantee you that this is one of the cleanest parts of the ocean, and it's wild crafted. It comes straight from the ocean. It's not grown, it's not farmed, it's not, you know, it's not fake, and it's not organic. It's not organic because one thing you guys got to watch out for is anything that comes from the ocean cannot be organic, because there's no way to control what's in the waters, because the ocean is connected all around the world, right? So anything that comes from the ocean cannot be organic, but is wild crafted. So that means it's picked from the wild, it's grown in the wild. And just how Dr. Sebi talks about electric foods, right? Electric foods really just mean foods that can be grown in the wild. So the sea moss that I have is wild crafted, is freshly picked from the ocean, dried in the sun, and then shipped out to me. And much love. And yeah, so that's what we got going. Let me know what y'all think about the packaging. This is the packaging. I designed it myself. and it's been an amazing process. I took a lot of losses on this project, importing products. It's not easy to import products, especially when it has to do with health. So a lot of the other products that I wanted to offer, the Prescale ash cleanses, they got stopped at the border, and I had to pay fines and I had to send it back. So I took some losses, but I'm so grateful to have the CMOS that was allowed to come through, that passed through. So the CMOS is ready and available for you all. And you can just go to my website if you want to purchase any of that. And yeah, just straightforward. And one thing I wanted to do with the CMOS is I actually wanted to make it look good. So I wanted to have like a decent package, you know. So if you were to see this in a store, it would fit in on the store shelves. And I didn't want to just put together CMOS and just to give you guys like a basic product. I wanted to do my best to give you a product that looks good, that is high quality, that it's like I wanted to connect to a brand, and I wanted it to be like y'all feel like y'all know where this is coming from. Y'all feel connected to it instead of like, oh, this is CMOS 92 minerals and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we got going on for the CMOS. So let's answer some of these questions. How can I get a vegan potluck going here in Nakaj Doshes? Yo, I don't know where that is, but for a vegan potluck, easy. Just post, just share that you want to do it. Set a date and invite people that you know in the community. Just let them know you're having a vegan potluck, and just you don't have to put pressure on yourself to have so many people. Start small, but one thing to do is just start. So set a date. Number one, set a date, and then just start inviting people, and that's really all you need, and you'll be doing that real quick. And then another question is, what's the longest fast I've done and the benefits? The longest fast I did was 4 days long, and the benefits of it, well, it was like a reset of my being, of my physical structure, and it's also spiritually, it allowed me to tune in. Because when you're not focused on eating, when you're not focused on like where you're gonna get this food from, oh, like how am I gonna cook? Do I have time? You have more time to connect to self. So I find that fasting is a great way to connect to self. It's a great way to understand your relationship with food. I have a video that I did on like the benefits of fasting, but it's like you can one, reset your system physically, spiritually. You get to tune in with self. You get to reestablish your relationship with food, because I found out a lot of the times I was eating because I was bored. I was eating as a distraction. I was eating as a way to just to do something, as a form of procrastination. So when I was fasting, that exposed all of that to me. So there was no hiding behind the food. I had all that exposed to me, and yeah, it was a blessing. And during the fast, I was drinking CMOS and water. And where do you get legit CBD? Well, in Canada, it's legal. And like my friends own a dispensary out here, so I get it from them. In terms of like, I don't really know any brands like that for CBD. I just stick to the one that I use, and it's not really available online. And much love, Michael. The energy, is all about that energy. And I give thanks. For this opportunity. And yeah, so let's get going. Let's get going on this connection now. Just about what's been going on, like reflecting on this past year and some of the lessons that I've learned, some of the things that I've gone through, some of the like my favorite books, and anything that y'all have questions regarding that, just let me know on that. But this year has been, it's been a powerful year. It was, first off, for me, for like us, this is like the first year that I really feel like I've released content, that I've posted videos to YouTube. So this is my first year. I call this my first year of posting videos on YouTube. And the way that makes me feel, y'all don't even know, because I had a calling. I had something inside of me that said, share share with the people, put out videos, share your story. And it was about 2-3 years worth of me being scared. Like straight up, I was scared, I was shook. I wasn't releasing any videos. All I was doing was staying in my head. I was just staying in my head. I was planning, I was preparing, and it was good. I was doing a lot of reading, and I was doing a lot of like studying and getting to know myself, but it was eating me alive to not be able to release content, right? And for this year, it was the first year that I actually put out content in a semi-consistent way. And just the way that made me feel is so blessed. And just the lesson that I got from that is that like we have to put ourselves in challenging positions. We have to challenge ourselves to take action. And that thing, I was so scared to post a video. I was so shook. But I challenged myself at the beginning of the year. I said to myself, no matter what, I'm gonna post 2 videos a week. And I did the video on Wednesday and I did the video on Saturday. And when I told myself, I made that promise to myself, like, you're gonna do this for a given amount of time. And I did it. And just the feeling that you get when you challenge yourself and you rise to the occasion is indescribable. So like one thing as an overall lesson of this year is that we have to challenge ourselves. We have to put ourselves in the position to fail more, and we have to, take those risks. And just the reflection of this year and going into next year, the number one most powerful thing that you can do for yourself, that I can do for myself, that we all can do for ourselves, is to be unapologetically us. Is to be us without apologies, without worrying about what other people are thinking, without being afraid that you're gonna annoy people with your lifestyle. You're gonna be alone because no one around you is plant-based or into this conscious lifestyle. If you feel a certain type of way, if you have something in your thoughts, we must be able to speak what it is that we think. And that's what it means to live your truth. That's what it means to be able to be you, to live unapologetically and be unapologetically you. So we must tune in and we must look into ourselves and take a few breaths and take some time to reflect and to see ask yourself some questions about, in this past year, when were some things that I did that made me feel amazing, that gave me life, that gave me fuel? And what were those things? What were those things that I did where I just felt completely tuned in and harmonized? And go through your past year and notice all of those things. Make a list of all of those things and figure out what people come into your life that allow you. I'll post that link one more time. What people that come into your life that allow you to be you, right? Because a lot of the times we are working on becoming more unapologetically us. Like we want to focus more on ourselves, right? And do more for ourselves. But we have all these people in our environment that are doing the most to try to knock us down, to try to remind us of who we were, to try to be like, nah, you can't change. Nah, you can't evolve because I'm not ready for you to evolve, right? So we gotta look back and we gotta analyze who in our life is trying to hold us back from being us, is trying to hold us back from expanding, right? And those people, we gotta cut them out. And I don't mean cut them out as in never see them again, never talk to them, but we gotta put so much more time into us. We gotta put that time that you would spend with those people who are always questioning you, who are always reminding you of things you used to do, or always tempting you and trying to bring you into situations you don't want to be in, you just got to stop connecting with them, and you got to find those people. Make a list of the community of people who, when you're with them, it's ease, it's flow. It's flow. So I want you all to find those people in your life, because I get a lot of questions and people ask me like, well, how do you do this when all these people are, they're not vegan around you, or I have no one to talk to around me? And, what we have to do is we have to, one, to not be afraid to be by ourselves, right? That's number one. We got to be comfortable with the self. We got to know that this lonely is never lonely, but when you're alone is one of the most powerful times. And one quote that I like is to be able to see through the silence, right? See through the silence. When you're alone by yourself, you can figure out, who do I want to be around? Krista, much love. You get to see, who do I want to be around? Who do I want to have around me? And that's going to be so important for us heading into the new year, for us heading into this next level of our expansion, because we have to set up our environment. But hey, much love. My family's in here. But we have to set up our environment so everything in our environment is getting us in tune. So if y'all just look around my place, you see in my background, you see right here, these are all my spices. Right? Plant, books. Got my CMOS on that shelf there, right? And I got my Miles Davis duality poster back there. I got my poster from my friend that was brought from Bali. And these are all things that when I'm moving through my house, when I'm walking into my house, these are all just serving as reminders to me. So we must configure our environment to allow us, to help us to tune in. So in these next couple of days, in this day after this call, go home and just organize your space. Get rid of all that stuff in your life, in your house, that is reminding you of the past. Like, you look at my desk, even here, like I got my sage, I got my Palo Santo, I got my candles, I got my diffusers. Every single thing in my house is organized in a way that when I look at it, it reminds me about where I want to be, what I got to do, what mindset I have to be in. And that goes for everything that we do, right? The people that we hang around with, you got to be hanging with those people that remind you of where you want to be at, that remind you of how you got to think, that reminds you of that life essence that you want to bring forth. And that's going to be one of the most important things that we do, is configure our environment. There's a few things. One is the people, one is our thoughts. Like, how are we thinking? How are we speaking to ourselves? Because, y'all don't even know the power of the thoughts. I'm sure y'all know, actually. We got some powerful people here, I know that. So, but the power of our thoughts, like how we're thinking on the daily, is truly creating our future. So we must place that utmost importance on our thoughts and what we're telling ourselves, because what we tell ourselves will ultimately turn into reality and will ultimately be what manifests in this world, right? So for example, the retreat. I've been saying I wanted to do this retreat for a while. And last year, I said I was gonna do it in 2018 in August, right? And I said that, but I was doubting myself. I doubted myself and I didn't take action, but I kept saying it. I'm like, no, this is happening. And then certain things lined up and boom, all of a sudden, I made it happen. And we connected all the dots. It wasn't ideal, like the timing. We only had 3 months of promotion. We didn't have any videos. The cottages weren't even ready yet. But, it happened because that was in my thoughts. I was so sure of it that there was no way it was not gonna happen, right? So we gotta be really diligent with our thoughts. And one thing that I'm really looking into and working on this last little bit was that we must get these mental reps, like these affirmations We must get repetitions of these things in our life, in our day. We must affirm daily. We must affirm, like, think about how many times, if you have an iPhone, just look at your iPhone and look into, there's a part that says how much you've used your phone, and it will tell you how many times you pick up your phone, right? And it's like average is like 8 to 9 times an hour, right? So if we pick up our phone 8 to 9 times an hour, it's just reaffirming that we need to look at our phone. We need to look at our phone. So we keep doing it. So what if we were to challenge ourselves to say 8 to 9 times an hour to affirm to ourselves what it is that we want to accomplish, what it is that we want to have happen in our world, even if it's just in our day. Like, I am focused. I will get everything done that I know I have to get done in perfect timing. And we just say that 9 times every hour, or whatever it is that we want to do. I will meet many people in my day today that are gonna tempt me, they're gonna tempt me to fall off of my path, but I will stay focused on my mission. Or I am love. I love myself completely. I trust myself completely. I give thanks for everything that has happened in my world, and I know that the universe is serving me at my highest power and like my greatest power. Like, whatever it is that you want to say, get the repetitions in. We need these repetitions. We need to. And it's so important. And the thoughts, important. And also another thing is how we're speaking to others, right? So while we're communicating with others, right, we can do an analysis of what words do we use that make us feel amazing, right? For me, I have certain words that make me feel so good, right? For example, y'all will always see in my comments, and whatever I'm posting, whatever I'm talking, bless, love, give thanks, love. I call people honorable. I call my girlfriend Empress, right? And whenever I greet someone, I say blessed love. When I write in an email, blessed love. When I say give thanks, when I call my woman Empress, when I say that to her, automatically when I call her Empress, I can't treat her bad. Because how am I gonna say she's royalty? How am I gonna call her royalty and then treat her like a peasant? It doesn't work. So we could utilize our words to our advantage by finding those words that make us feel good and that put us in line with how we want to think, right? And one way is to recognize the people around you as supreme beings. There's supreme, like there's beloved, all these different ways to greet someone. So if we greet someone in a way that's the way that we call them is going to dictate how we respond to them, right? So when you look at hip hop culture, just how I grew up, it was like, yo, bitches, hoes, like, it was like, I don't like first anyone calling me sugar, honey, like sweetie. I don't like it because it's like, it's reaffirming our addiction to sugar. Like, we're so addicted to sugar that when we call people these things, it's just reaffirming our addiction. And we're not addicted to that. We want to be moving from that space where we're royalty and where that is putting us in that alignment where this is how I'm going to treat that person. And if I'm going to be around that person, I'm royalty too. Straight up. I'm recognizing you as royalty, as a God, because that's who I am myself. So I welcome you into my presence. I give thanks for this moment. And that's going to allow us to configure our consciousness in a way that's going to, boom, put us in our highest level and get us in tune with our highest self and allow us to reach our highest potential, because that's what it's about. So we must tune in, and we must recognize that we have to be unapologetically us, having our thoughts match our reality, having the people who are around us reflections of ourselves, having our environment a reflection of ourselves, having our goals, our tasks, and our habits. Ooh, this is a powerful one. This is one that, like, I'm really still working on mastering, or even just getting a solid grasp of. is our habits. Because there's all this spirituality about like who we are, like how do we know who we are? You know, how do I know my identity? Right? But basically, our identity is just made up of what we think, what we say, and what we do all day. It's like we could keep it that simple. So if you were to look and be like, just analyze, let's say 2 hours of a day, analyze, you know, one day a week, be like, what am I saying? What am I thinking? And what am I doing? And those three things are your habits. What do I have a habit of saying, thinking, and doing? And these are the things that are going to create your identity. Like, identity isn't some mystical thing. It isn't something that we say that we are, say that we're doing. Identity is really just like what it is that we do. Like, keep it grounded. Keep it, what are we embodying? What are we doing on the daily? That's our identity. And that's to be unapologetically us, is to have the things that we say, do, and think, to have those totally in line with what we want to be doing, of what we desire. I don't even like the word want. What we desire to be doing. What is that? When you're just sitting there by yourself, just breathing, meditating, and just reflecting, what is it that you want to do? For me, it was like, I want to share my story, and I want to share my experience, and I want to share my journey with others as an example, to connect with others and to promote a lifestyle that I am living and that I want to live, and to celebrate all the good things in this life, because there's so many things that are celebrating all the horrible negative things. So I wanted to celebrate, and I want to bring that forth, right? So what I say, think, and what I do is in line with that. And yeah, so it's just, we can keep it really simple and just go and analyze your past year and look at who have you been hanging out with that's making you feel less than yourself, less than that authentic being that you are. And then who are you hanging out with that makes you feel amazing, that makes you just feel harmonized and just you, without even having to think about it. Who are those people? What are the things in your reality that make you feel that way, right? Go through all the things. What are the thoughts that you have that take away from your energy, that give to your energy? You know, what are the things in your environment? And what is the foods that we're eating? Another huge thing, right? What are we eating on the daily? We're eating, let's say, 2 meals a day at least, 1 meal a day. That's at least one thing a day that can reaffirm what you believe in. So you could look at it as if it's just food. Oh, it's just food. I'm eating this to give me my nourishment, or maybe it's just calories. And yeah, you two families are the greatest. I love y'all. Nina, Rose, much love. But what am I eating? The eating isn't just for the calories. The eating is a way to tune in with who you are, because ultimately what you eat becomes you, right? It builds up your system. It gives you energy, right? So if we're constantly eating things that take away from our energy, every single time you eat that thing, you're subconsciously telling yourself, I don't really care about my energy. My energy, my time isn't as important, because I eat this food, and this food takes away from my energy and makes me feel sluggish, right? So we really gotta tune in, and we gotta look beyond just the food as calories. And as we're going in a little bit onto the food topic, is one thing about this food thing is, as I'm in tune with the Dr. Sebi electric foods alkaline diet, is one thing that I like about it. It's a great list, a lot of great foods that are on that list. It opened my horizons to a lot of amazing food. Like this year I discovered fonio, which is the greatest blessing. If you haven't tried fonio, go try some fonio, go get you some fonio. It's amazing. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the list. But one thing that I really don't like is it divides us. What that list does, it makes us think in division. It makes us think as if someone who's not eating from the list is less than us. Or, there's all these Facebook groups. If y'all, let me know if any of you all are in these Dr. Sebi Facebook groups. Because, I do not like these Facebook groups because it's like, for one, they're putting such a negative energy to anything that's not on the list. And what we must do is focus on connection. Everything that what we must do must bring things together, right? But I find that we're always like, we're using food, like these lists, this alkaline diet is like a religion that has us separating from others, that has us, making us stress out in life. Like I have people stressed because they have broccoli or like, little things like that, or carrots. Oh my God, don't eat carrots, right? At the end of the day, it's not gonna kill you, one, and there's a lot of things that are good in that. Like my cousin Prescale, he's like, you cannot tell me that broccoli is poison when he's personally healed people from cancer, from these different ailments. He's healed people from that while they were eating broccoli at his retreat center. So he's like, man, we can't listen to anyone to tell us what we gotta eat. We gotta listen to ourselves. Ourself is gonna be the greatest guide of what we can eat. But whatever it is that we do decide to eat, what was confusing? The food? But whatever it is that we do decide to eat, we must know that that's our choice and we enjoy it. We live that choice and we embody it, but we don't look down on others and we don't judge others and we don't judge ourselves. We're easy on ourselves and we're tuning into ourselves and knowing that everything that I eat is for me, is serving me, and I give thanks for that food. And I don't really need to worry about the list or what other people are eating or what other people are doing. And like, just, we must focus in on just connection. That's the one thing, and like a huge thing that I've been learning, is that connection. We must come together. We're so much stronger together. So with the YouTube, wow, amazing family, amazing community that I have here, right? And I'm opening up a studio, which is kind of weird because I have the ability to do everything online. I could do everything online programs, online consultations, sell my CMOS. It's moneymaker online. There's a lot of opportunity, a lot of potential, right? But I decided to go and to open up a studio because I want to build a community. So it's so important that in our homes, in our cities, we build that community. And if you have a hard time finding people around you for now in your city who are like-minded, who are in that same vibration, then it's time for us to, we could stay in tune with the online world. We could get our mentors from online, but know that someone asked like how to make a product or how to make a potluck. Make potlucks in your city. Invite some people over and just cook for them. Look on Meetup, look on different Facebook groups, plant-based Facebook groups, look on different conscious communities, and just, go out there and searching and find some people out there who are interested in that same thing that you are. And yeah, I'm gonna answer some of these questions here. So CMOS, messed up making CMOS and put half water instead of full in the blender, and now it's kind of chunky, not like a paste. Is there any way I can make it into a paste? If your CMOS is chunky, just put it back into the blender, put more water in it, and let it blend. That's it. And yeah, just let it blend, and it just needs more water. So put more water into the blender with the CMOS and then let it blend, and then it will turn into a paste. And make sure you give it time. My blender will make a paste in like 10 seconds, but if you don't have a high-speed blender, then give it some time, maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes. Give it some time and it'll turn into a paste. And Involuntary Simplicity, Changing Dysfunctional Habits of Consumption by Guy Claxton. A good book on habits. Yeah, amazing. Thanks, Krista. A book that I have on habits was called Atomic Habits by, I think it's James Clear. So I have that book. That book has been powerful for me. So if you want some information on the habits, you can check out that book or the other book that was recommended. And what products do I use on my skin? That's an essay. Okay, we'll check it out. But the products that I use on my skin, I keep it pretty simple right now. And I use grapeseed oil as a moisturizer after the shower. I use black soap, African black soap that I get off of Amazon to clean my face. And I use an Irish moss, clay, aloe mask every once in a while. I use, that's really it. For shaving cream, I use black soap for shaving cream. I use, I use rose water. I use rose water. There's that other, it starts with the H, but there's another toning water that I use. But otherwise, that's all I use. And for all of you who make CMOS, what I do use is the CMOS water. I'll use that extra CMOS water and I'll just rub it on my face before a shower. Just rub it on my face, let it sit a bit, and then I'll go shower after like 20 minutes and just rinse it off. That water that you get after you soak the CMOS is amazing. If you keep that water, you'll see that it turns into a gel itself. So it's powerful, it's potent. So I use that on my face as well. But what I've really just simplified my face, my skincare, because so for the CMOS, I'll post the link for the CMOS. That's my website. I now sell CMOS, so you can just go there. But I just keep it simple on your face. Is your skin doesn't need that much stuff. Like I see all this dermatologist recommended, and it has like a list of 40 different things. Yeah, grapeseed oil. I just keep it simple, and I love grapeseed oil, jojoba oil, avocado oil. Those are my three go-tos. But for me, grapeseed is kind of just the easiest for me to get, and it's the best for this winter time now. So yeah, I really like grapeseed. But if your skin is dry, you could use avocado oil. I find that's a little bit heavier. And if you don't like too much oil, jojoba oil is really light. So you can just choose between those ones. And have I ever done, JD said I use coconut oil, but I find it drying. Coconut oil is no good. I stopped using coconut oil a while ago. It's like fake oil. Like, so why I chose grapeseed oil, jojoba, or avocado is because these three oils match the oil that is released out of your skin. Your sebaceous glands release oil, which is in line, which is very similar to the makeup of grapeseed oil, jojoba, or avocado. So you got to use an oil that matches your skin. So when we use a coconut oil, it doesn't do anything because it just sits on your skin and it doesn't actually get absorbed into the skin and like make your skin more moisturized. It doesn't make your skin produce more oil or produce its natural oils. So coconut oil is no good. Stop using that like fully. I used to be like, oh, coconut oil, but yeah, I didn't like it. It was drying. So yeah, find those ones. They're really good for matching your skin. And then just between those ones, you could just find the one that works best. And have I ever done a fully raw diet? I'm wondering if I should try it. Not for an extended period of time. Like I've eaten in the summertime, I'm mostly raw. And let's say I might go raw for a week, not even like intentionally, but I just eat a lot of fruits and the greens and the fresh stuff. But I'm not fully raw. Yeah. I love cooked food, and I just make sure I get a lot of raw food into the way I eat. But once again, it's like, listen to your body, try out raw food, and see how it feels. Because I come to my conclusions off of experimentation. So when it comes to how you eat, experiment, try it out, go. Calling me. I gotta turn my phone. Do not disturb. But experiment with yourself. Use yourself as the experiment. So if you want to try raw food diet, boom, I'm gonna try raw food diet for this next week, for this month, for this next 2 days, for 1 day, and just see how you feel on the raw food diet, and just listen to your body, because like unapologetically you, right? That means understanding what your body needs. Your body needs to eat some cooked food. Give it that cooked food, right? And in my last video, I was talking about developing a taste for life, and we gotta be able to understand what gives us life and what makes us feel good. So maybe you don't need to go raw food diet, but maybe you need to have like 80% raw food, right? So don't feel the need to go into labels. Like, just what I was saying earlier is like, we have this urge to want to fit to lists, to be labeled, to fit into certain way of being. But we're so unique. Every single one of you on this line is so unique that we're gonna do things just a little bit different than the other, right? So my way of eating is not a vegan. I don't like to say it's vegan. I don't even like to say I'm a plant-based. I don't like to say I'm alkaline. I don't like to say I'm ITAL. I eat in the way that I feel is best. And I like the word ITAL because ITAL isn't a certain thing. ITAL can be many different things. So I like ITAL. I just eat in a way that makes me feel best, makes me feel like amazing. So that's the most important thing for us, is that we don't feel the need to have to fit into a label, to fit into these different boxes. You're so unique. And like I said, the most important thing that we could do moving into 2019 is being unapologetically you. And that means not having to want to fit into a box. You create your own box. You configure your own world to be exactly how you want it to be. And you don't worry about trying to be nice to other people. Another a thought, be unapologetically you. So we have to ask ourselves, I kind of lost my train of thought there. In a box, uniqueness. I lost that train of thought off of this call. But we have to be unapologetically us. So we have to ask ourselves what it is that we want, and we have to go out and make that happen. And I lost it. So be you and focus on your uniqueness, and just, don't allow, that's what I was gonna do. That's what I was gonna talk about, was like, I find a lot of us nice people, like I find myself to be like a nice person, like a nice guy, and me being the nice guy has been one of my biggest downfalls growing up, because me being nice led me to not doing things because I didn't want to make someone feel uncomfortable. Like, I was dimming my own light so someone else can feel comfortable. I grew up and I was in the newspaper like every week playing basketball. I was always like, I was out there, like everyone knew me in my city, and I didn't like it. I didn't feel comfortable. So what I would do is like, I would first tell myself, and I would, do things to make me feel like I fit in more, to be more like other people. And it was me being a nice guy, right? And I thought, like, I'm a nice guy, I do these things, but that being nice was one of my biggest downfalls. So what I focused on in this year, and is I'm so grateful for this, was instead of focus on being nice, focus on being authentic. Authenticity over positivity, right? That's Will Smith said that in one of his interviews. Authenticity over positivity. Don't have to be positive all the time. You see me here smiling like, ah, ha, 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 right? All jokes, all positive vibes. Yo, don't mess around. Like, don't try to come into my house and mess with my house. Don't try to mess with my family. Don't mess with those things that I hold near and dear to my heart. Authentically, I have to stand strong, and I have to confront whatever it is that is trying to ruin what I have set up. So authenticity, sometimes you have to come forth with that fire, and you don't always have to be positive and nice all the time. And that's something that I find that us nice people, us conscious people, we always want to be nice. We always want to be friendly, positive vibes. Oh, get out of here. No more. No mas. Like, seriously, no more of that. This year, moving forward, no more of that. It's all about doing what's best for us. And I'm going to do a video on this specifically, this topic, but I feel it's an interesting thing to think about, is think about what would it look like if you were 100% selfish. Just think, if I was 100% selfish, what would that look like? What would I be doing? Who would I hang around with? Where would I be working? Right? Because we have this idea of being selfish is a bad thing, right? But I find, ask yourself, what is it gonna look like if I were 100% selfish? Because what I found when I did that was, me being 100% selfish, I still want to take care of my family. I still want to take care of my friends. Me being 100% selfish, I'm going to help someone on the street because that makes me feel good. Me being 100% selfish, I'm going to say no to going to this family outing because I need this time for myself. Me being 100% selfish is like, I'm gonna like set up these boundaries where, this is my space and you can't enter this space. You can't enter certain parts of my consciousness unless I allow you. Me being 100% selfish, it shows that I am still a good person. And selfishness it just brings out who you really are. And me, I love to be around people who are selfish. Because when you're around selfish people, you know their motives, right? You know what they're up to. You know what they're getting into. So when I'm around selfish people, I know that person, he's selfish, and he's liable to come to my home and steal my computer. So I just know, let's not have that guy over. So I feel that us moving forward, we need to push more into the authenticity, into being selfish, into giving to ourselves, because that's going to allow us to be unapologetically ourselves, which moving forward, that's number one. And like, that goes with the food, unapologetically fuel yourself, give life to self. And don't feel like some of us, I know, because as I train people, they go out for dinner and they drink, they eat bad food just because the people they go out with eat that, and they want to fit in. They don't want to have like that confrontation of like, oh, why are you doing this? Oh, why do you eat that? Oh, come on, just drink. Oh, just drink this one time. A lot of us, we would rather not meet that resistance or that questioning that people do to us. So we just give in and we eat the poor foods and we drink even though we know we don't want to, just so we can make other people feel more comfortable and we don't have to explain ourselves, right? But what I'm asking of you, and when I say you, I mean myself, what I'm asking of you is to either go to those dinners and confront, eat what you gotta eat, and welcome that confrontation, and stand up for what you believe in, or don't go at all. Straight up, you don't have to go. So if this dinner is gonna put you in a space at risk of behaving in a way that is putting your your well-being at risk, your life at risk. Like, we can look at it serious. Like, let's get serious with it. When we go out in this, when we go out into these dinners, and we go and eat this poor food, we're saying to ourselves, our life doesn't matter, and we'd rather be friendly and be non-confrontational than give life to ourselves. So either you stand up for what you believe in and do you at these dinners or at these outings, whatever it is, or don't do it. Don't go out. Simple. Don't, and then you're gonna also meet that resistance. Oh, why don't you ever come out anymore? Oh, why don't I ever see you? And at this point, people don't even really ask me to do these things because they just know that this is what I'm about. They know that, I'm not, if they want to go out and get drunk and just have a good time, I'm not the one to ask. And sometimes I'm like, damn, I just wish they would ask me. It feels good to be asked. And, oh man, I don't ever hang out with those people, man. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm grateful because I have my structure set up for me to be who I want to be. And the people in my environment now respect that. And they no longer put me in those positions and tempt me. So you're going to be met with resistance at first, but be strong, be solid. Challenge yourself to move through that. Either don't go or be you, be firm, do you, stand firm in what you believe in. And, give thanks for these decisions that you made. Because this is your choice. This is my choice. This is what we've chosen to do, right? So we don't have to feel bad about it. We could always do something else, right? We could always change. So it's so easy. But while you choose to do something, do it. While you decide to do something, do it. If you change your mind, then it's changed. You could switch. But while you're in that mindset of, I'm going to eat healthy, I'm going to feed myself and fuel myself with these life-giving foods. While you do that stuff, make sure you do it. If there's one day you're like, I'm done with this life, I don't want to eat healthy anymore, I'm just going to binge eat, whatever it is, then do it. Enjoy it. Full enjoy it. Be so happy about that. But just know, if you make that decision, just live it. Live it, live it, live it, live it, live it. So, yeah, so me going forward, let's say my past year, let's put that past year into a word. What's going on, Simon? If I were to put this past year into the word, I would say it would be trust. Trust. Trust myself, trust the timing, trust universe, trust source, trust higher self, trust is so important, it's so powerful, because what I would have is I would have doubts. I wouldn't believe in myself. I wouldn't believe in the timing of things. But this year has really asked me to trust myself. And something that whenever I feel some kind of doubt, whenever I feel like I'm late, I'm running behind, I didn't meet my goal in a certain time I thought it was supposed to meet it, I ask myself, first I say to myself, like, right now, I'm so grateful for where I'm at. I'm grateful for everything that's in my life right now. And I know that everything that I've done leading up to this point had to occur in perfect timing. Think about it, perfect timing for me to be where I'm at right now. If I were to miss a red light, then that could be the difference between me meeting my Empress or me not meeting her. There's certain, 30 seconds can change your whole life, right? So our lives are divinely timed. So with that being said, I'm so grateful for where I'm at right now. So I ask myself, whenever I'm doubting, whenever I doubt, I'm like, well, the perfect timing in this source, this divine connection, this divine power has gotten me to where I'm at right now. And I'm so grateful for it. So why would I stop trusting it now? Why stop now? It's never done me wrong. It's never done me wrong. I have never been wronged by the universe, by source. It's always in my highest power. It's always on my side. So when I look at it like that, there can be nothing that has me, there can be no doubts. There's no room for doubt because it's always in that perfect timing. My lowest, my saddest moments, my most depressive times of my life got me to where I'm at now. So when we look at that, there's nothing to do but to give thanks. To give thanks for every single thing that has lined up to bring you here now. So this past year has been a lot of me challenging myself in new ways. One is videos, one is to make a retreat, one is to create a movement studio, and another one is to create these products, right? So with these different things, I met so much resistance. Like I want to share more with y'all as I move forward about my process, but I met so much resistance on retreats. I'm so doubtful for the retreat, but I have to remind myself, trust the universe, trust source, trust the timing, trust the people you have around you, trust. And that helps bring me back into that place where I'm like, let's go, let's do this. And then we continue with the mission. And that has really helped me. So this past year, trust. Boom. Trust yourself. Right? So now that I trust myself, what's the next step? What's the next thing that I got to move forward into 2019? And with that, my thoughts moving forward, how I gotta act, the theme for this year coming up is discipline. Discipline, which is basically to just keep the promises to yourself, is to do the things that you say you're going to do, and do the things you say you're going to do after the feelings and the emotions that were there when you started are gone, right? Discipline. I feel that's so important that we don't, we talk a lot. I talk a lot about all these different foods, all these different, I'm always experimenting, trying all this new stuff, but that's not really important. What's important is that we remain disciplined and that we remain consistent. And that discipline and consistency is really what I'm focusing on moving forward. So what that looks like for me is to have my routines, my morning, my evening routine. I've already created it. This is not something that I'm starting January 1st. This is things that I've been working on. So, continue with my mornings and evening routines. Continue with my reflections. My meditation in the morning, get my meditation in. What's my movement in the morning like? And one is less phone time. So to have times of my day that are dedicated to my work, and the phone is gone. The phone is off. I can't use it. Have discipline in my use of phone. Right? Have discipline in my environment. Right? I'm decent. I'm pretty good at that. But what I want to do better at is have discipline in the way I organize my environment. So it's kind of clean right now, but I have a tendency to get things messy, and the messy in the counter in my house leads to mess in my mind. And the main thing that I want out of this discipline, not the main thing, but a huge thing that I want is clarity, right? Clarity. I want things to be clear. I want my skin to be clear. I want what I'm supposed to be doing in the day to be clear. I want, what the people I hang around with to be clear. I want my relationships to be clear. I want my business to be clear. What am I offering? I want the way I express and share. I want that to be clear. So I find discipline is just a great way for you the discipline gives you freedom, really. Right? Discipline gives you freedom because you're able to really get into the depths of yourself, or get into the depths of whatever it is that you're doing. And once you get into the depths, then you're able to really get a grasp and a knowledge and an understanding, an understanding of whatever it is that you're doing. So if we want to get to become more unapologetically us, we got to have discipline with how we do that. And what does that look like? Maybe we are disciplined for our meditations for 10 minutes every morning. And we have our journaling 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening. We are going to dedicate time each day to read 20 pages a day, or to listen to 20 minutes of an audiobook a day. Right? These are all ways for us to first we look at what it is that we want to do. Right? For me, I want to come forth with that clarity in my offerings. I want to come forth with that clarity because I have so much that I want to give, that I want to share with you all, but it requires discipline. So I need to be disciplined with my scheduling. I need to know what I'm doing through the day. I need to know my offerings. I need to, like, even for my YouTube channel, something that I would say discipline is to release content when I say I'm going to release content. Like, I feel like I've been doing y'all a disservice because I say I'm going to release a video every Wednesday, or I say I'm going to release a series of videos and I just stop the series, right? I don't want any more of that. I want to make promises to myself and I want to keep those promises. So that's a main thing for me, is discipline. And I gotta make sure I identify what it is that I want, so then I know what I gotta do to get there, and then I'm just disciplined in what I'm doing with that. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking about. That's been what's been on my mind. And just a part, like, I can go talking for hours, for years. Like, I love this stuff. This is what's on my mind all the time. So, I love this kind of ability uplifting content. So I give thanks for everyone tuning in and moving forward with the content. What I present to you of how I want to move forward with this channel is, one, we're going to keep going on this recipe video. We're going to keep going on that high vibrational food content, that almost alkaline kitchen. We're going to keep going with that content. So that's going to keep continuing. I want to have more videos on the mindset, the approach, the consciousness, and just how to tune in to our greatest version of self, how to just tune in truly. And then also want to go into the fitness content. So more workouts, more follow along workouts, and just more of how we could be more comfortable in our bodies and how we could master our bodies, and then just enjoy and have more fun in our bodies as well. So those are the main three things that I want to do with this channel. And so really, it's not too much of a difference, but I just want to keep that consistency going and provide you with all this stuff that I have in my mind. I got so much in here, y'all. It's wild. So I just gotta make sure that I'm disciplined, and I'm saying this to you all, my reflections, to so you guys can send me that energy back to me. Send me that love, send me that that well wishing, and just know that if any of this resonates with you, then tune in, get with the discipline, and really make it happen this year. Like, no playing around this year. Be you, unapologetically you. All right, this is time. It's time for us to tune in. 2019, big year. 2020 comes around. Like, I really wanna, by 2020, I wanna have my place set up in Saint Lucia, so I know where my land is. Even if I don't have a house there, I wanna have made that first little investment into Saint Lucia, so I can really get on this sovereignty tip, where I have my own spring water, my own food I'm growing. Not necessarily I'm gonna live there, but I just want to get started on it. I want to get that started.
So eventually I want to be living in the forest. I want to be there. So this year is really to get that going and to really set that in stone and then make it happen. So, yes, much love to you all. Give thanks for tuning in. So much love. I'm gonna wind down here. Gonna turn this off. So, yeah, if we got any more questions, if you got anything you want to bring forth, then do it now. But just know I'm so grateful for every one of you who've been here, who've been supporting me over this year. We basically got 15,000 subscribers this year, which is amazing, which to me is like, I can't believe it, but I'm so grateful. I'm just like, I'm so honored to be in this position, and I'm here just as a reflection, as an example of this is possible, and that whatever it is that you want to do, go do it, and just make it happen. Like, now is the time. So I give thanks once again, y'all, and catch y'all in the new year. I trust y'all are gonna be bringing it in with power, and just make sure you take some time over these next couple of days to reflect, to ask yourselves questions about what has been going on and what do I want to have happen in the future, right? We got to make sure we take that time out for self. So I'm grateful for you all. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, JD. Thank you, Varlene. Thank you, Miss AS. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Krista. Thank you, Ariel. The knowledge coming through. Thank you, Phaedra. Thank you, Fatima. Thank you, me. I like that name. Penny Choice, Mateo, Front Runner. Thank you to you all. And just know that this year, for all of us, is going to be magical. We're here for a reason. And I don't really have videos on spirituality too much, but moving forward, I'm going to be putting out more of that content. But, we're here for a purpose, and we're all here divinely connected for a reason. So don't doubt that. Go act on those urges. Go act on those urges. Make it happen. Go live your dreams out. Take risks. Put yourself in a position where there's that possibility to fail or a possibility to learn, right? Unapologetically you, which means authenticity over positivity. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Just be you. Whatever that calls for in the moment, make sure we're doing that. Don't worry about fitting into boxes. Create your own box. Create your own structures. Make sure you're putting yourself first. Be selfish. Sow love to yourself. Get yourself right financially. Keep your promises to yourself. Show love to yourself every day. And configure your environment to fuel you. Give life in every word that you speak, every thought that you have. Make it be life-giving. In everything that you eat, I wish that everything that you eat is life-giving, is fueling you. I wish that I pray that I hope that that every one of us has the courage to live our dreams out, to cut the people off that we need to cut off, to quit the job that we need to quit, to start the side business that we need to start, to do whatever it is that calls us, to connect to nature more, to go out in nature more, to connect to the earth more, to care for our skin, to hydrate ourselves, to drink the clean water, to, all this good stuff. I wish it all the best for you all, and I trust that we're all moving through top speed, and I give thanks for this divine moment, this divine opportunity. It's always so hard to say bye, but I'm just so grateful to y'all. So I'll catch y'all on the next videos, and just reach out to me on Instagram if you want to connect at all, and any questions you may have, just send them my way. But until then, just stay blessed, y'all. Much love.